Good morning, good evening, or whatever time it may be. What's up? This is Range Minded Podcast, and I'm calling this maybe the half mag episode, or maybe even California compliant is what Nick said we should call it. This is Steve Zimmerman, and I am actually all by myself today. It has been a crazy, crazy last couple of weeks. You guys have probably been on pins and needles wondering when something new will drop from the show, maybe just to get you caught up a little bit. Well, Nick has been here and there and everywhere uh, between gun shows and work. That guy is a busy guy. And for me, my son just graduated. He was on the show maybe a year ago or so, and I'll tell you what, if your oldest is getting close to graduation, or maybe did just graduate, and maybe you're feeling the same way I'm feeling, it's kind of a surreal, uh, odd feeling when you realize that your brain may be acting young, uh, but your body is no longer young, and you can feel the difference. And then when your kid finally graduates high school, you realize that you are getting old, and you just got to suck it up. So first thing I want to hit on tonight, as of this recording, it is actually Memorial Day 21, and I wanted to take just a few minutes to tell those families of fallen heroes, whoever may be listening, um, thank you, thank you so much for putting up with the things that I don't even understand. Um, I have several friends that served in the military. You probably know that nor Nick or I, neither of us have served in the military. Uh, but we are definitely surrounded by friends and acquaintances that have been there, have seen combat, um, and we know people that have lost their lives, uh, preserving our freedoms and taking care of us, so we can sleep at night while the bad guys are kept awake. Uh, I'm a little disappointed with our commander in chief, as I say that in air quotes, and the vice president, who clearly do not understand what the purpose of Memorial Day is. And I know a lot of times we in the civilian life, we get excited because it's another day off. It's a day to have a barbecue, to hang out with some homies or whatever. Uh, Go to big box stores and have some stupid sale on junk that doesn't even matter. Uh, but it's important for us to remember that there's families out there, and maybe you're one of the families that are listening, that Memorial Day has a completely different meaning. Sorry, and maybe it's not such a happy time for you, but we love you, and we're here for you. Anyway, sorry, completely off topic. A couple things I just wanted to talk about tonight. First thing is we're kind of working on getting some merch a little bit more real. There's still some behind the scenes stuff that we're trying to figure out. Obviously, we're going to have to get the website and stuff built up to where you can actually purchase and uh, and get some of the things that we're coming up with. Hopefully that works out. We'll see. It's it's something that I've never had to do before, so it's a little bit confusing for me. Nick's done it before with Hoftech and all the other crazy stuff. Man, if you guys knew how busy that guy really is, holy crap. Anyway, so merch hopefully coming pretty soon. I have to meet with some designers for some t-shirts. Hopefully this week our schedules will match up, and hopefully the ideas that I have won't be too offensive, and it's something that you'll actually wear and support the show that way. That being said, the more we run on almost a zero budget, and so that really does limit us with a lot of the stuff that we can do, and some of the fun things we can offer on the show. So hopefully with getting that merch out there, it's something that will be able to make us more exciting, more appealing, get us more places. We really want to take this show in a direction that could be really awesome. So that's our goals for this year, and short term, getting those t-shirts and a website going, and maybe some hats or whatever. We'll see how that goes. All right. So, uh, one of the things I was planning on talking about tonight um, is the NRA. Now, it's no surprise or no secret on what I feel or how I feel about the NRA. Yes, I am a life member. Yes, I have credentials to teach the NRA curriculum. Do I think the NRA curriculum is amazing? No, I can write curriculum better than what the NRA has, at least on their basic and intermediate intermediate levels. Um, but I am super disappointed with the NRA. So the last bit of news. If you guys don't know what's going on, you must be living under a rock. The NRA has been wasting us as members, and I'm sure some of you out there are members. They've been wasting our money, wasting it away. They do just a little bit of good with the money that we give them, and I'm talking millions and millions and millions of dollars a year. And then the rest, apparently, or allegedly, I guess is a better way to put it, has been going into the pockets of folks like Wayne LaPierre and the board of directors. It's been super disappointing. The more this story comes out, if you haven't heard, they filed Chapter 11. The NRA did. They're filed in New York State. In New York State, obviously, they're not going to be the most conservative governing body in that state. Letitia James is the attorney general for the state, and she has openly said that she wants to destroy the NRA. She wants to get rid of the NRA. Um, the left wing media has consistently painted the NRA as a terrorist organization, and they're behind shootings or whatever. And that ad campaign seems to be moderately, at the least, successful to a lot of the people out there in the United States that really normally would be center of the road or don't really care. So now that the NRA has put themselves in a huge, a big problem, they put themselves in a place that really could cause problems for all of us in the long run. Not just members of the NRA, not just the board of the NRA, but us as gun owners. So the NRA, they decided to file Chapter 11 several months ago. They've tried to get the hearing moved to Texas. That recently got shut down. That means that's going to take place in New York. And again, New York has been very, very outward, saying that they are going to destroy the NRA. So what does that mean to you and me and whatever NRA members are out there? Well, let's think about this for a minute. The NRA is probably, and I'm sure it's getting rivaled now, but it's probably one of the largest educators of firearm safety in the world. And you might think that's kind of hyperbole, but first of all, we're the only country that has firearms as part of our Constitution as a guaranteed right to the citizens. So here we are. The NRA has got this huge behemoth of an education side that now is in jeopardy. So for me, where I'm a accredited NRA firearms instructor, what does that do to my certifications? Now, I know, like you just talked about how I feel about the NRA, but surprisingly, that stupid piece of paper still means things to students. I guess it's a benchmark or something that they can say, like, yeah, hey, this guy's got some certs behind him. So what about my certs and the hundreds of thousands of other certs that are out there to firearms educators that got certified through the NRA? Where does that go? What happens next? The ILA. What happens to the ILA? And they have done some good things. I'm talking the ILA. Sorry, I'm probably going to jump around a lot with lobbying and what have you in Washington. Is it a perfect organization? No. Thankfully, we got some other pretty strong organizations and growing organizations out there that are still fighting for our rights, like uh, FPC and some of those other ones. And locally, we've already talked about Idaho Second Amendment Alliance. Um, and again, I know we've said it before. No matter what state you're in, you really need to be part of those local gun rights groups, because that's the rubber really meets the roads inside the states. And then we can pick the battles later in Washington. Um, so I'm personally worried about my certification. I'm concerned a little bit, not a ton, about the ILA. But what does that do with the millions of dollars and the hundreds of thousands of NRA members that are going to just be left out there? And then what does it do to the I don't know how to say it. What does it do to the persona, I guess, of gun ownership in general, the perception of gun owners? Um, Maybe let's jump back just a little bit. If you haven't really kept track with what's going on, Wayne LaPierre has been allegedly wasting so much money. He would fly his family out here and there and everywhere on the NRA's dime. He would buy $20,000 suits with the NRA credit card. Apparently, allegedly, he had lady friends all over the place. And again, this is all alleged. Nonetheless, there was so much wasteful fraud going on, um, that my money got wasted, your money got wasted, um, and then they uh, they they voted in the board of directors in a way that they can't just be kicked out. I don't know if you remember a few years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Um, when they tried to, a lot of the board members, or a lot of members, I should say, at the NRA convention, really got upset at what was going on. A lot of the stuff started coming to the surface. Um, and then the board met an executive session where nobody was allowed in there, and and we still don't know what uh, what was said in that meeting. At least I don't know. So there's a lot of shady stuff going on with the NRA. Where do we go from here? Well, there's really nothing you or I could do. Um, right off the bat, I mean, I still get phone calls, them asking for money or whatever. I get emails of them offering me a stupid backpack and a pocket knife, which nobody gives a shit about that junk. I don't want that. And I bet most of you don't even care about that either. It might be the old man fuds that think they need another stupid range bag to match their shooter's vest that they wear, thinking that they can conceal their 1911. Um, Sorry to the 1911 owners. I love those too. Don't worry. So first thing we can do is stop giving them money. Honestly, like I said, I'm a life member. Uh, when I get those solicitation phone calls, I know it probably doesn't go any farther than the conversation that I'm having on the phone, but I tell them no. I'm not, until Wayne LaPierre's gone. I'm not. I'm not giving another dime to the NRA. Um, and like I said, does it go anywhere? Probably not. It probably doesn't make a difference, but it makes me feel better. And I try not to berate that person on the phone. It's usually some really nice sounding gal on the other end of the line that is just trying to raise money. They don't even work for the NRA. They work for some other hired group, and it's no use belittling or berating them because they really have nothing to do with it, and they probably don't even know what's going on. So just keep track of that. I'm not sure when this gets to the New York Supreme Court, um, or if it's even going to go that far. But I do know. Oh wait, look, here it is. Sometime in August. Let's see. Well, let's jump. This was actually from the Texas Tribune. Is just a short article. I was reading it, and this is the latest news I could find. Was a federal judge um, dismissed the bankruptcy case by the National Rifle Association that would allow it to be recognized as. Let's see, boy. Let's try this again. A federal judge dismissed a bankruptcy case by the National Rifle Association on Tuesday, and again, this was a few weeks ago, that would have allowed it to recognize as a nonprofit in gun-friendly Texas, dealing a blow to the gun rights group that's facing a lawsuit in New York that could put it out of business. So they tried to move the case down to Texas. And honestly, I was reading some of the judge's comments about it, and he's right. It appears more like they're trying to uh, escape the law and of justice, just so they can save their own bacon. Can the NRA restructure and rebuild? I I do hope so. I think back in the day, I mean, it is the oldest civil rights organization in the United States. Um, they were doing a lot of good until uh, until as of recent meaning probably the last 15 years. Um, have some really cool people come out of the NRA? Yeah, I think so. I mean, you think about Dana Loesch or Lash, whatever her name is. I think she's all right. I do kind of think she's. Uh, I think she could be better. I guess I'll put it that way. Um, and then you got Coleon Noir, which I think he's awesome. I think he's a straight talker. But for the most part, I think there was a lot of money wasted um, through NRA TV and probably through ILA and through all that crap they keep sending us through the mail over the last 15 years. Really frustrated with it. If you're not sure, if you think I'm misrepresenting what's going down, look it up for yourself. Uh, there's stuff all over the internet. It's pretty disappointing. So there's that. The next thing I wanted to talk about tonight, um, and then I'll let you go enjoy your weekend, is Chapman, David Chapman, um, or Chipman, sorry. And if that name doesn't boil your blood, then it probably should. David Chipman is Biden's nominee for the ATF director, um, and he is very, very anti-gun. He's openly supports a ban on AR-15s and semi-automatics. Excuse me, semi-automatic rifles, and in his definition, that use more than a 22 caliber projectile. So your AR-10s. Honestly, there's some Winchesters out there. Your Garand, because it takes obviously not the Garand, but your Mini 14. Anything that takes a detachable magazine is what he said. Um, so how slippery is that slope? Well, my Glock takes a detachable magazine and it shoots something greater than a 22 caliber. Um, he is very, very openly anti-gun. There's a bunch of videos floating around where Ted Cruz and some of the others in his hearing uh, pinned him down on the carpet to try and commit him to answer some questions. Dude's slippery as a snake. He weasels his way around any kind of comments to make himself not look bad. He went as far as saying that he was issued an AR-15 when he was a field agent for the ATF. Highly doubt it, considering, well, as far as I understand, those guys get select fire. I can't go buy a select fire AR-15 anywhere, so maybe he meant M4 or M16. Either way, he completely misrepresented that particular platform, and he's willing to destroy our rights as firearms owners. Now, remember, the Constitution is not designed to explain our rights as citizens. What it does is it restricts the control of what the government can enforce on us as citizens. So they're blatantly bulldozing the Constitution. We've been told all through, middle school and high school uh, that it just spells out our rights. No, it does not spell out our rights. It spells out limitations for the federal government, and they're completely overbounding those restrictions and have been for years. And let me tell you something. If you think that Donald Trump is going to come back and rescue us from any of these terrible policies that are taking place, dude, wake up. That guy was just anti-gun as everyone, any of the other Democrat presidents we've had in years past. Donald Trump put more laws out on the table than Barack Obama did in 8 years. So give up. He ain't going to be our savior. Uh, Now, I didn't mind him as a president, right? I think he did some great things. I just, he just didn't understand the firearms community, and he lied to us. And he lied to us from the beginning. He said we were going to get the Hearing Protection Act, and we were going to get some stuff lightened up. No, the Hearing Protection Act never took place. Instead, we lost bump stocks, and and set us back a few paces. He supports red flag laws, which, man, that's just backdoor gun confiscation. So you know what? If you think Trump's gonna save you, you're dreaming, man. You're dreaming. It ain't gonna happen. Um, so we really need to look at somebody else better during, for the next election cycle, because we're right on the precipice. There we go, of losing everything that we've got. Just one election away, man. It's just one election away, and we're right there. And honestly, I think a lot of us are just tired of the fight. We we see all this crap between Black Lives Matter and whatever else going on, Antifa. We're just getting exhausted, and maybe that's part of the game. Maybe that's what they want to make happen, so we lose sight of the end goal. Um, I I don't know about you, but I've noticed a severe uptick in newsworthy shootings. Uh, it's happening a lot more. I didn't hear too many during the last administration. Yes, there were some, and maybe we were just too stupid to pay attention then too. I don't know, but they're coming after our guns, and they're using the heart of public opinion to make that happen. Um, and I'm really worried that Chipman, whatever this guy, Darth Maul, whatever you want to call him, I think I think he's going to get nominated. I don't think we have the power to stop it. Um, Rumor has it that there are some um, blue dog Democrats that are still in high places that do not want to risk them losing their own seat by having this guy get placed in the ATF. It's really scary stuff. If I don't know when for sure this nomination actually takes place, if when they vote on it, but you need to get a hold of your senators and tell them no. We do not want this guy in any way, shape, or form involved in making policy. He's a weasel. He's a snake. He is. I mean, hell sakes, he's friends with the Gifford campaign. He's all part of the Gifford's anti-gun group. He's no good. Um, we're we're having our rights taken, and we're just sitting here listening to a podcast instead of getting off our butts and taking care of stuff. As soon as this show's over, write a freaking email to your senator, um, and tell them how you feel. Um, Now I know there's a lot of form letters out there, which I get it. I mean, we don't have a lot of time. I just started the show with how little time I had taking care of things, um, and I understand if that's what you can do, that's fine. But I will tell you this much: form letters probably won't go as far as an actual letter, or an email, I guess, um, written in your own words. Uh, just take time. It takes 5 minutes to write an email. Most of you do that for work every morning. You send out 100 emails. It's just do it. Just quit being lazy, quit being apathetic, and get your butt in gear, because time time's running out. And if we don't get up there and stand up for who we are and what we believe, we won't get to it all. I truly believe that. And maybe that sounds a little bit wacko and crazy, but whatever. That's just the way I feel. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna take off. Like I said, this was recorded on Memorial Day. I don't want to take a bunch of my time, and I know Nick sends his best. He wishes he was here. He just he got stuck down in Salt Lake. Couldn't get home, and he didn't have a way to really help pop in and record the show. We love you. Stay safe. Take somebody shooting. Remember, you can find us at podcast at iishooting.com is our email. If you want to get a hold of me for any reason, you can email me. You can find us on Instagram under Range Minded Podcast, or the same on Facebook. You can find Nick at Hoff Tech Industries on his Instagram. Or if you want to see any of my boring Instagram content, you can find me on Impractical Tactical there, and on Facebook, same thing, Impractical_Tactical. Guys, be safe. Tell your family you love them. Take time to tell them that you love them. When you see a veteran, give them a hug, shake their hand, tell them thank you, and remember those people that sacrificed everything so that we could listen to a podcast and enjoy maybe a cold drink or whatever. Peace out, guys. Be safe. We'll see you next time.